A very warm welcome to the next episode of the Raj podcast. Today we have a very senior guest with us, Advocate Shri SK Jain ji. He has practiced and appeared right from the Magistrate Court to the High Court to the Supreme Court, everywhere across India. He is a very renowned name. So very welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Looking forward to a very insightful episode with you, sir, to know your insights and your experiences. To start with, a very good news for some of our viewers. Sir has been an engineer before and he has moved from engineering to law. So we'll delve into those insights also. Other than that, he has been the ex-vice chairman at the Bar Council at Maharashtra and Goa. He has been the president of the Khadki Education Society. He's on the board of multiple educational colleges like Wellinkar in Mumbai or SP College in Pune. So a huge round of applause for you, sir, and hats off to your achievements, sir. To start with, sir, a very interested question I am for: what made you shift from engineering to law, sir?
Look, in 1967, I took admission in engineering college. After going for 3-4 days, I came across an editorial in Navara Times. Precisely, I recollect the date, 15th of June 1967, where there was an editorial that India within 10 years, number of lawyers, a number of engineers will be unemployed, there will not be job. At that time, I thought that basically I wanted to be a lawyer during my school days.
Oh.
But by accident, because I got first class, so I got admissions in science faculties in Ferguson College. I got first class in FI BSc, so I got admission in engineering college. But when I come across that editorial, I immediately went to Ferguson College and without asking anybody, I took admissions in second year BA. I was advised by concerned superintendent of Ferguson College, Mr. Oak, that I should consult before I switch over. I said no, if I will consult there will be a confusion. I have a straight ideas that I don't want to continue with engineering and I want to do law. Wow. And that is how I took admissions in second year BA in Ferguson. In 1969 I got passed in BA. Then I was admitted in ILS Law College and in 1972 I passed my LLB degree.
That's nice, sir. I really like your bold decision where without even any other consultation, you could just take that step and plan your career the way you wanted it. Sir, you shifted from engineering to law. That shift might not be a very comfortable thing in the start. So, any failures of yours in the initial days as a lawyer and how you overcame them, sir?
Look, it was comfortable because I decided very firmly that I will not continue with engineering. So there was no looking back. But initially in the 5 years, if we look from money point of view, yes, I could not do anything for my family. But I was fortunate that my family with business and other parts and my younger brother Bhavar, and my parents were supporting me at all levels. And so they have never made me to realize that I am not earning for initially 5 years. And that support I cannot forget in my life.
Wow, that's really nice, sir. As a lawyer, when I spoke to some people that I'm coming to you, many people told me that sir has a goodwill that जो case Jain sir ने लिया है वही जीतने वाला है. What is the reason behind that? Like I've heard even for Gandhi ji, there was a time when it was told that अगर गांधी जी ने ये केस लिया मतलब यही सच है. So
look, there are two ways. It is an exaggerated version because it never happens that whatever case I have taken and I have succeeded. Because there are always one way or other.
Correct. Yes.
Because two sides of the coin is always there. But when I accept the matter, I never give false promise. Second, when I accept the matter in civil, I always pursue the client to go for settlement, considering the pendency, delay, expensive and other parts are concerned. So far as the criminal is concerned, there is no option. But there also, I have never given false promise. If it is going to take time, it is going to take time. If it is a bad case, it is a bad case. If evidence is against you, that is there. But if you read fully and if you find out right from start to end, you will find there are so many loopholes in the investigations. And that we have to find out and bring it to the notice of the court and to hammer there with the help of cross examinations and other parts, that wherever the police had made exaggerations or used, improved the falseness to prove their case, then it can be found out and there are better chances of success. And therefore, I have never under pressure. But yes, when you are always transparent, when you know that your client is at such stage, when you read the papers, when you present your case at appropriate way, when you go to the court at right time, then certainly chances of success is always more.
Right, right. So, do you have any ethical checklist before taking any case?
Look, as it is, there cannot be exactly ethical checklist. But yes, ethics I observe in my practice. For example, as I have told you, that have a courtesy and good behavior with the advocate who is representing other side, have a courtesy behavior with the presiding judge of the court, don't make false statement about the court. When some orders goes against you, accept it sportively and try to correct it from the higher courts. And if there is a reputation that you are not making any kind of false allegations against the court or staff or other advocates, then certainly you have partially achieved success at this stage only.
Truly.
And with all efforts, you can have a better chances always to tilt the matter in your favor when it is a balanced case. If it is a worst case, then always advise the clients to settle the matters by compromise. And normally in family dispute case, I always advise people to settle the matter instead of coming in the court, because coming in the court is always painful, expensive, waste of energy, waste of time, and therefore it is always in the interest that we should settle it. And there I always believe in ethics and or ancient or Indian standard, where there was a Panchayat, there was a conciliations, senior members of the family, senior members of the village, senior members of the business communities, they will sit together and suggest the formula to resolve the problem. And always that helps. People, after coming in the courts and wasting years and years, then they realize that we should have settled the issues instead of wasting time in the court.
Right, right, sir. Sir, just one thing. Does it affect your personal life also as a lawyer when there are commandments coming, when आप कोर्ट में हो और किसी को फांसी की सजा सुनाई गई और आप घर पे आ रहे हो, तब का आपका mental state कैसा होता है? Is that getting affected?
No, it never. Because the reason is that I never get identified with the client.
Oh, wow.
Because
so how do
if-
you manage to stay disidentified?
Look, I know that my role is to present his case before the court. If he has committed a wrong, he has committed a wrong. I can say that I can reduce the vigorness of that. Or if there is a good evidence or falsehood, it is my duty to find out that particular part. I have to bring out all the facts on record which other side try to suppress it, withhold it from the court. But if you know everything, whenever you want to work with the court, till you argue the matter, I am always put my heart and soul in it. But once I argue the matter, I always tell my client that now the judgment is the job of the judge, and if it is in your favor, it's okay. If it is not against your favor, in your favor, go in appeal. So there are always a higher courts.
Wow.
So one need not feel, of course, for the timing. We are all human beings. And if you are not getting the orders as per your expectations, it get a disturbance. Then we say that there is a mechanism to correct the wrong orders by appellate courts. And with the experience in the beginning, I used to get little disturbed. But within 5 to 10 years, I realized that there is no point in getting disturbed.
Yes.
My senior used to say, inverted commas में था, क्या खाना तो गम खाना. Second part, he used to say that there are always higher authorities, appellate authorities to correct the wrong things. So why you should get disturbed with the wrong orders? We have got high courts, supreme courts, and so many fields are there.
Right.
So I never got any kind of stress on the day of judgment.
Wow, that's really nice, sir, of how you managed to stay disidentified in spite of putting all the efforts. Truly amazing, sir. Hats off to that. Sir, one thing के काफ़ी movies में भी see that dialogues होते हैं कि कोर्ट में जाके क्या मतलब 20-20 साल बाद तो चांस मिलता है, so many things are pending, thousands of cases pending, so many people get their turns after the victim has already passed away. Is that the situation truly, or is it just overrated by media? And if that is the thing, what is the scope for improvement and why is it that way, sir?
In America and other places, the conciliation is compulsory. Now in India also, before filing a commercial suits, you have to go for conciliations. So according to me, conciliation is the best way, and the people are getting true justice by dialogues and conciliations and by discussions. The court should be the last attempt. If one party is adamant, if one party's claim is unjustifiable, if one party is not ready to listen, then one has to come in the court.
Correct.
But as far as possible, it should be avoided. It is in the interest of everyone.
Right, sir. Sir, other than that, one more thing. Nowadays, we see many protest marches or rallies coming when some important case is going in the court. Example be it the Nirbhaya case or such things where we even see candle marches and all. What is the reason for that, sir? Is it that people don't have faith in the judgments of the court, or people want to influence the lawyers and the judges? What is the reason of such things, sir?
Look, Supreme Court has condemned on number of occasions trial by press and media. Public has a right to say that the incidents will not be repeated. The public has a right to say that there should be a fast disposal of cases. But to put a candle march for publicity, because nowadays various persons, so-called self-called NGO, for each and everything they will go with the candle march. But if I will ask them what they have done thereafter, whether they have gone to the root of the problems, there is never answer from these fellows. And therefore, it has become a fashion to go for this part of the march is concerned. But at the same time, let me tell you that the present system is responsible. If we are not getting the judgment in sensitive cases within 2 months or 3 months or 4 months, then naturally the public mind is alarming.
Right.
Public feels that once there is a delay, justice delayed is justice denied.
Right. Yes, sir.
At the same time, justice hurried is justice buried. So there should be a balance between them.
Yes.
And if there is a time-bound investigations and time-bound trial with the result, then I think that all these things will be irrelevant so far as march and all these candle march and all these things are concerned.
Right, sir. Sir, you came to one point of justice delayed is justice denied. If you don't mind, sir, what are your thoughts on the delay in the Ram Mandir case? It was after years and years that people got an answer to that. What was the reason to that, and how fair was that, sir?
Look, it was a case where the then governments could not oppose the Ram Mandir, but could not support the Ram Mandir issue for their own political reasons and political compulsions. And therefore, they tried to postpone it. Then the questions was that even some of the judges are not ready to take up the matters which will be ultimately result in unpleasant decisions. So unless there is a fearless judge, unless the government's interference will not be there, unless the people will be supportive, and because of the voluminous evidence and other parts, and the transfer at the interval of 3 years, 2 years, or the pendency of the matters, so many factors have contributed to the delay, and it was not in a good taste, and that has also disturbed the scenario, social fabrics. So it would have been better, it would have been decided long back. But ultimately, a government with positive concept, a government, a fearless government and fearless judiciary, when they are at one and the same time, then only such issues are decided.
Right, sir. So, what is your opinion on? So, do you mean to say that the current government is quite a fearless government that we have since 2014?
In my view, 100%. Because the way our Prime Minister has his own concept, maybe in economic field, maybe in social field, maybe in development, maybe a strict administrator for the bureaucrats, maybe with new concepts of GST and other taxes. Look, he has brought GST. He has taken so many decisions which has brought the India or Bharat at the fifth level in the world economy.
Yes.
So the question is, yes, that our Prime Minister, and fortunately he has never been favorable to his family or any others. So a fearless Prime Minister with full of national pride and only working 24/7 for nation's interest, nation's development, nation's citizens' development, poor's development, it could not have been possible.
Right, sir.
And therefore, I will say that Narendra Modiji is an icon, and I wish that such Prime Minister should be there for as much as possible, who can serve the country fearlessly and without doing favor to family members or any persons.
Right, sir.
Nobody can claim that I can achieve a favorable things without merit.
Correct, correct, sir. Sir, we came to the point where how much government intervenes is also important for judicial decisions, like you said, even for the Ram Mandir. But sir, in the three stems of the democracy, the executive, the legislature and the judiciary, all three are ideally supposed to be quite independent. What is your thoughts on the influence of executive and legislature on judiciary? How independent is judiciary, or how much does this influence judiciary?
Look, in United States of America, there is a committed judiciary. There the president appoint Supreme Court judges. Once they are appointed, they are there in the chair till physically they can work. There is no age bar or anything like that. In India is concerned, we have written constitutions which defines the powers, duties and responsibilities of legislature, executive and judiciary. Ultimately, it has been said that if center is strong, then judiciary is balanced. If center is weak, then judiciary interferes in almost all the matters.
Right.
And therefore the questions comes ki if the government is strong enough and judiciary are doing their work. Fortunately, even now, we have got a judiciary which is as good as independent one.
Right. Yes.
No interference of the government at any point of time. But certainly it depends that who presents the case, in what manner it presented, without wasting time and by bringing everything on record. And if judges are also, ultimately they are human beings, they have got their own philosophies also, their thought process is there. So no two persons can be equivalent to each other so far as all thoughts are concerned. So we cannot say that there is an interference, but these political parties, for their selfish motive, when they are getting the orders in their favor, they say that judiciary is a god. If they are not getting, they will start criticizing.
Right.
So if at all there is a suspicious era or perceptions, it is because of the irresponsible behavior of the political parties. Otherwise, our judges are concerned, more or less they are independent.
Right.
There is a criticism about legacy, that they brings their people and all these things. So this is a human tendency. And if they have come, they must have come on merit, because our courts are working in an open court system. And so if a person is totally incompetent, then he will get exposed when he is sitting on the bench. And therefore we cannot say that totally there is a favoritism while selecting the judges. And ultimately there is a look that judges are selected where there is a collegium at the High Court level, collegium at the Supreme Court level. So all cannot be favorable to one person.
Correct.
So merit is there, but somewhere here or there, if some favoritism, we have to accept it. This is a human nature.
Right.
So far as the other judiciary at level, magistrate level or district court levels are concerned, there is again a mechanism, but human errors are always there, and human nature, one way or other, it's society's, what we can say that it's a mirror of the society. And so if there are faults and wrong thing in the society, then judges are also human beings. They come from the society only.
Right.
So we cannot accept them like a god or totally 100% above all.
Correct, sir. Yes.
So these flaws are concerned, bound to be there.
Yes.
Only there should be flaws within the limits. It should not cross the limit.
True that. True. Coming to the next question, sir. How has technology changed the way the legal system works today, sir?
Look, it has to be accepted. It is the need of the day. Considering the volumes, considering the populations, with the old system of everything manual cannot be acted upon. And therefore, if somebody is benefited during Corona time and other parts are concerned, that virtual hearing, what we are calling it, online hearing we are calling it, that has benefited.
Right.
And I will say that that benefit has percolated even to the advocate practicing at district level also, or at the magistrate court level. Because if you have a capacity, you can file online proceeding, you can argue online. Earlier, to settle in Delhi or Bombay, to practice in the Supreme Court or High Court, it was a costly affair. Everybody could not dream of it. But now, everybody can dream of practicing. However, the Supreme Court and High Court is concerned, they have adopted technology in full swings. But in the trial courts are concerned still, they require improvements. And if I am allowed to say so, in the trial court, because of this technology, on some point of time, the delay has increased more than benefits are concerned.
Why, sir?
The reason is that there is no adequate supportive system. Suppose that the server has gone something wrong with it. There is no standby. So far as the light, if it has been, there is a power cut. Then there is no generator with adequate petrol and other parts are concerned. And the training of the staff is concerned. What exhaustive it should have been, it is yet under the experimental stage. But a day will come that in the trial court also it will improve. But it will require to do more and more work. And the judicial mindset, I have to work more. I have to work and give justice to what taxpayer and nation is giving me. If that concept is developed, that mindset is developed along with the technology, then I have no doubt that people will get justice at a speed which is not there at present.
Right, sir. Sir, as we spoke of technology, currently we are seeing a lot of developments in AI in all different fields. Do you think there can be a future in maybe 20 years, 30 years or even 50 years where we see AI replacing lawyers and judges as well? Do you think that is a possibility?
No. Ultimately, it's a human approach. To collect the informations one-to-one, personal, is a different than this artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence has a limit for that. Ultimately, how there will be negotiations. And there cannot be a forging formula for everything are concerned. The problem differs from person to persons. Problem differs from place to place. Problem differs from site to site, state to state. And therefore, there cannot be a dependency only on artificial intelligence, and replacement is out of questions. But the advocate have also to change their mindset. If they will not stop their practice of delay, casual in practice, going on taking dates, or not ready with this, not faithful to the clients, making false promises to client, then they will be irrelevant. Even people have started disliking them. So the question is this, that a combined effort of bench and bar, that is judges and advocates, is there. But let me tell you that the society is also responsible for that.
Right.
Because those who wants to come in the court, when it comes to their turn, they say, I want order in any circumstance. He doesn't say that I want order on merit. But when they want to preach others, they say that there should be a merit, there should be a judgment. But so therefore I say that the tendency and the mindset of public will be important for functioning of the judiciary and judicial system.
Right, sir. Sir, what differentiates a normal lawyer or a normal advocate from a Supreme Court advocate, sir?
There is no difference between the normal lawyer and Supreme Court lawyer. Because ultimately, once you have got the degree LLB and you got the enrollment, you are entitled to practice in magistrate court, you are entitled to practice in Supreme Court.
Right.
Only the question is this, that when you develop the capacity of reading at length, in depth, having an adequate knowledge of the case law, citation, judgments, then your presence in the Supreme Court will be effective. Then various qualities are there. Your vocabulary, your presentations, command on language, contact with the judges. Contact means how to present your case. Know that it always different from judge to judge. So in the trial court is concerned, a person who was working, let me give you an example. A judicial officer at the lowest level or the first level in Pune court had become a Supreme Court judge.
Oh.
Yes, we have got example. Right. So if that is there, then why not the advocate practicing in the trial court can practice in the Supreme Court?
Right.
And I had an opportunity. I have appeared in the Supreme Court. I have never found any inferiority complex. But normally it has been inferiority complex in the mind of the advocates who are working in offices and other parts. Oh, Supreme Court is very big, something like that. And even there, sometimes the atmosphere is such that unless you have got a face value, unless you are more prepared, unless you are having often presence, you may not get audacity or hearing which the present leading Supreme Court lawyers are getting.
Right.
And therefore, that kind of the treatment is, yes, it is there. It's a human psychology. But according to me, a good lawyer should always do an attempt that yes, I am practicing at trial court, but within 5 years or 10 years, I will be an appellate court lawyer. Thereafter, he should make an attempt always to be a high court practitioner and then Supreme Court.
Right, sir.
So it always depends upon your mindset and hard work and what you have developed during the course of your college educations and school educations. So if you have that mindset developed that I will do it, I will go to the top, anybody can work in the Supreme Court. And I don't think that there is any kind of the difference between a Supreme Court lawyer and trial court lawyer.
Right, sir. That's truly phenomenal. So basically it's the perfection that matters of an individual. So sir, just wanted to know, where do you see yourself maybe 5 years from now? Like, you've practiced law in every way. Do you see yourself as a judge of the High Court or Supreme Court, or would you want to get into politics as a governor or a minister?
Oh, look, so far as the High Court and Supreme Court is concerned, the age is over.
Okay.
So there is no questions of, even I have never have a dream of anything. And perhaps at that time, because of my belief of ideologies are concerned, when I could have been considered. And thereafter also I have always faith in doing my duties. And result is concerned, it was not material for me that what opportunities I am going to get. But I am fortunate that I have got opportunities at all stages as and when it is required. So far as politics is concerned, again I am of the view that after a particular age, one should not go to the politics at this level. And it has to be left for the young generations to whatever it is there. Certainly, I am getting the opportunities to work on various fields, work for various statutory bodies, local bodies, for drafting their policies or bylaws, frame the bylaws, guide them, consultations. So that is a good part and which I am enjoying.
Right, sir. Sir, just out of curiosity, how much does a Supreme Court advocate earn?
It depends, but I will say that it's a high time that everywhere there is a ceiling. And in the Supreme Court advocates, why there is no ceiling? We are hearing some lawyers are charging 30 lakhs, 15 lakhs. It's absolutely denying the justice to the common man. And these people are only giving political thoughts, speeches. Then they give a speech in public that justice should be to the door of the common man. Everything are concerned. But when it comes to them, they will go on charging because they have made their image in the corporate field and other parts that as if that they are only going to give justice. There are normal lawyers in the Supreme Court also who charge moderately. They are also getting good results. But for want of publicity, their names are not coming ahead. But I will say that anybody who is working, as I have told you, that in depth and details can get good orders from the Supreme Court. So the income part is concerned, there are few lawyers whom I am calling it as a 5-star lawyers, but they are taking disadvantage of their face realizations in the court. Otherwise, why they should charge the way in which we are hearing?
Right, sir.
And they should be reasonable, but ultimately they are encashing their face value, and I have no hesitation to tell this.
That's truly bold of you, sir. Sir, I had not planned this in the flow or anything, but just out of curiosity, I'll ask you 2 rapid round questions, where if you can answer only in a yes or a no. If you were given the Ram Mandir case from the Hindu side, would you take it?
Yes.
And if you were given the Ram Mandir case from the Muslim side, would you take it?
No.
What's the reason behind this?
The reason is that as I have told you, that I always support the truthful positions are concerned. And when it was admittedly it was a Ram Mandir, why I should have the drain of my brain for the wrong cause? And I have never allowed my brain to be drained for any wrong cause. So Ram Mandir is concerned, there is no questions of that.
Wow, sir. Sir, as I would come to the last question of this podcast, sir, what are your thoughts on the spiritual dimension of one's life?
From the beginning, one should be. When I was of 4 years or 5 years, my parents sent me to teach to learn the religious thoughts. At that time, maybe it is under the force, but I realized that developed my mind, which have controlled me from going on the wrong way. That was the first part. And when that is your controlling factor for your working system, aims, objects, then the time comes that you get success because your mind is working in the correct directions. And once your mind is working in the correct directions, the success is always with you.
Right, sir.
And spiritual part is concerned, all your decisions must have the base of spirituality and ethics and morality. If it is lacking, then you may get shortcut success, but that will not be permanent.
Right, sir. Sir, what is your message for the people who feel that spirituality is for the senior age of life to be practiced after 60, 65, 70.
No, it should be right from the day one. Because if somebody says that I will do from tomorrow, then tomorrow never comes. After 60, he will say that I will do after 70. After 70, he will say that I will do after 80. So the question is this, that a person must have such kind of the influence of their parents, society and family to work with the spiritual base, with the ethics and morality. Unless you have these elements, you will never get permanent success.
Wow, that's amazing, sir. Sir, as we come towards the end of this podcast, any final message or any closing message that you want to give to the public of this country?
Look, if you are steady and continuous working, all the opportunities you can get it. When I was of 29 years, I got opportunity to work as a president of the Khadki Education Society, and which I was working for 37 years. Without demanding, without lobbying for it. I got the opportunity to work as a chairman of Managing Council of Shikshan Prasarak Mandali, having more than 75,000 students and having 42 colleges and schools. I have got opportunity to work with various organizations where people are looking at respect. So the question is this, that if you have worked with the state formula, if you have your reputations and goodwill, that you will not give any kind of the wrong, you will not support wrong things, then you can get the opportunities.
Wow, that's truly amazing, sir. I think it was a very, very insightful conversation for me for the last half an hour, where right from your thoughts, your perspectives for so many of the judicial things. So we're really grateful to you for your time, sir. Also, do share in the comments what you liked the most and what you learned from sir today. And for more such content, subscribe to the Raj Podcast.